If you're on testosterone replacement therapy or thinking about testosterone replacement therapy, one of the common questions and concerns people have is, what about polycythemia? Hi, I'm Dr. Erik Vilen with Intuition Health, Sports Medicine, and Wellness. The topic today is polycythemia due to testosterone replacement therapy. Polycythemia is an increase in your red blood cells. Typically, people think of this as an increase in their hemoglobin or hematocrit as it's measured. And we know for sure that testosterone increases your hematocrit and your hemoglobin. There's lots of factors that go into how much that goes up when someone starts on testosterone replacement therapy, or when should they stop testosterone replacement therapy because their hematocrit has gone up so much, or do they need some intervention to help manage that? One of the common things that I hear in social media is that you don't need to worry about what your hematocrit is when you're on testosterone. It does not matter. And I think that's really an injustice to what the science is, as well as the practical application of this. Oftentimes we hear that the argument is well, people who live at altitude have higher hemoglobins and hematocrits, and they don't have an increased risk of DVT, PE, or heart disease or a cardiac event. And there's been a lot of studies that have looked at this, and the data is really all over the map, to be honest with you. And so the consensus has generally been that there is probably a level that your risk does go up. And I think there's a recent study from the urology world, and that was recently published, that did show that men who had a hematocrit above 52 that started on testosterone, then went above 52 in that first year, did have an increased risk of DVT and cardiac events. So the question becomes, what do we do about this, and how do we counsel patients, which is really key, because unfortunately lots of people are getting their advice on hormone replacement therapy and management from social media and the web in 20, 30-second bits. And there's a lot of individual assessment that goes into this discussion with the patient that just cannot be captured in a short clip. And so when I hear lots of people out there saying it doesn't matter what your hematocrit goes up to, that's really, I think, a disservice to the individual patient and understanding their risks. Not only today with possibly starting testosterone replacement therapy, but there is some evidence, particularly with knee replacements, that there's an increased risk of pulmonary embolism with men who are on testosterone replacement with a knee replacement, not so in a hip replacement. And so as these discussions about starting on testosterone replacement therapy, managing polycythemia secondary to testosterone replacement therapy, isn't necessarily always a discussion about, what is today, tomorrow look like, but do you have an upcoming surgery? And so that is, I think, an important part when we sit down and talk with patients, and taking the time to do that, to understand this very specific known effect of testosterone replacement therapy. It happens to almost every single man that their testosterone goes up. How much it's going to go up is highly unpredictable. And a lot of times it will go up markedly, and we didn't know someone might have had some very mild sleep apnea, maybe they're a former smoker. There's a lot of things that could cause this, but to say that it should never be monitored, I think, is really a challenge, and again, a disservice. One of the complicating parts of this is there's no agreed upon definition of what secondary polycythemia is. I know lots of labs will use 52 for the hematocrit as a cutoff, and above that's considered abnormal. The lab that we use has moved to 56 for men, being the upper limit of normal. And so at least in our practice, we consider above 56 to be something that we need to address for a patient, whether that's decreasing their testosterone. I mean, if it's in their 60s, then I think it's very reasonable to consider therapeutic phlebotomy as well, and counsel those patients and educate them that this is a side effect, and maybe we need to make some adjustments to their testosterone. There's also other options such as clomiphene, which the studies would suggest you don't really end up with significant polycythemia for the same amount of increase in your testosterone. So again, if someone is in that situation, we might have other avenues other than replacing testosterone directly. So I hope you found that this was helpful in mainly and not the nitty-gritty nuts and bolts of it, but really the importance of sitting down with a physician who's knowledgeable and will take the time to go through this with you, and not just getting your information off the internet and saying, you know, it doesn't matter what your hematocrit is, secondary polycythemia from testosterone replacement therapy, because you're likely not really assessing the individual risks and what that is now and in the future. So if you find videos like this helpful, we're going to be doing some more as it relates to a little bit deeper dives in these short segments. Please subscribe and also drop us a comment. Let us know what other videos you'd like to see.